morning, Familia. I just want to do a quick video and explain to you guys a really important thing that happens to babies that 7 years ago we had no idea about. Our daughter Raquel was born with a tongue tie, and what that essentially means is that her tongue does not have the ability to suck and to move the way it needs to be fed properly. So when she was born, we had a lot of issues with her nursing, and the doctors couldn't figure out anything. She kept losing ounces and losing ounces, and the lactation consultant came in and caught it. So at the hospital, what they did is they did a revision on it. So basically, essentially what it means is they actually took a razor and they cut it. They didn't do it with a laser like they do nowadays. What they did is they just put a curtain up, they went in, they cut her, she screamed, and they let it loose. So fast forward, didn't tell us that there was any further things that we had to do, right? So Raquel had always had a problem nursing, and she pretty much just couldn't latch, and always struggling with her eating. So I struggled, we struggled. We made it through nursing about a year, but I couldn't do it any longer. I wanted to nurse her longer. My body physically couldn't do it anymore. So as she grew, as everything happened and she developed, we noticed that she spoke a little bit slower, a little bit different. Didn't pay much attention to it, because they're little. You think that their speech is just, they're developing, they're learning. I would ask the doctor. Doctor said it's probably just the way she's developing and the way she's pronouncing words. So it's nothing to be worried about until she hits kindergarten. She always ate really slow, so I was always on her about eating. I said, you're always the last one. I just figured she just took longer to eat than a normal kid. So we moved here to Nevada and started really figuring that there was something wrong with their speech. Couldn't figure it out. Finally went to the doctor. The doctor sent us to a specialist. The specialist then diagnosed her with having a tongue tie. So eventually what that means is that her tongue right here was stuck all the way up here. So she couldn't have that flexibility that she had in the tongue. So we take her to a specialist and they go ahead and do another revision. They explain to us how important it is to have this resolved at a young age. And she explained to me all of the stretching exercises that had to be done after the procedure, which was never ever explained to us at the hospital when we left. The reason I'm doing this video is because I feel that the awareness is not there for this issue. And it affects kids, it affects them in life, it affects their dental. Raquel's mouth is a lot smaller. And if you look at her teeth are completely crooked. She has these big, her baby teeth came out, but her other teeth grew way behind it because there was no place for her mouth to grow, because the tongue was so tight that it never allowed the mouth to expand in any way, shape, or form. So now fast forward, she did the revision a year and a half ago. Her speech is better, but let me tell you, it was torture. It was 100% torture of what we had to do to her with her stretches. And her, at the time, I think she was five? She was about 5. It was so hard because every few hours we had to wake her up, even in the middle of the night, and we had to pin her down. Chris had to open her tongue and push back into her throat so that it would not close. Our body has an automatic healing, if you will, especially in your mouth. So what happens when these revisions get done and they don't get stretched properly, they just grow right back. And it's as if you never got anything done. So that's what happened when she got done as a newborn. And now fast forward, when we just had Esmeralda, what happened was that I had her latch on and everything felt fine. But in the back of my mind, I kept thinking about Raquel's situation with her tongue tie. And I kept thinking to myself, maybe there's something there, maybe something's going on. I asked lactation at the hospital. Lactation said they're not allowed to diagnose it, and they were horrible, I just have to mention. So then I asked the pediatrician. Pediatrician says, well, we don't know, we can't really tell because we're not really trained for that. It actually has to do with lactation consultants. So we kept kind of getting pushed around back and forth to know what's going on. So luckily we went to the same specialist. We wanted to make it a big deal, right? And we are going to make it a big deal, just so people are aware that it's not okay for these things to happen. It's not okay for them to miss these things. A lot of moms think that they've been defeated, that they don't have breast milk. And that's not true. Your body will produce the breast milk that you need, but the demand has to be there. What I mean by that is that if your baby can't suck, your baby cannot demand your body to make breast milk. So if you don't have your baby latched on properly and you don't have the baby on you like you should, your body is not going to know what to do. Our bodies are humanly made for nourishing our child. So it just breaks my heart because they kept telling me she was losing weight, and they kept saying, you should probably try formula. Maybe you should try formula. And I don't want my baby on formula. It's just my choice. Not that there's anything wrong with formula. It's everybody's decision, right? But I've been able to nurse my girls, and I really wanted that. To me, it's more of the bonding experience. And just knowing that, you know, we have that special bond that's done by giving her my time and giving her my milk. So it breaks my heart that I hear a lot of moms saying that they don't produce, when a lot of times what it is it's the tongue tie. They're not allowed, they can't move their tongue in that position so that your body is actually requiring to make more milk and produce the demand that the baby's giving on you. So if there's no demand, there's not going to be any supply. So long story short, it's Wednesday morning, and we are on our way to get Esmeralda's tongue tie figured out, because she does indeed have the tongue tie. Not only does my baby have a tongue tie, she's got both cheeks tied. And what that means is that you have these, there's like little parts that if you put your finger in your mouth and you rub it inside, you can't do that to her mouth. She's got these little fibers that are stuck on her cheek to her gums. So it's like essentially it's stuck to her gums. So you can't do this to her because it's stuck. So she has that on both cheeks, as well as this inside lip. She has this tied too. So she has an upper lip, a double cheek, and under her tongue, and she's getting all of that revised this morning. I had met with the lactation consultant last week. She came over and we were going through how we were going to get her fed and make sure that we get enough milk in her body so she gains weight. So luckily, I'm happy to say that she has gained weight. And the pumping is working. I'm pumping, I'm nursing, and we're doing a combination. And at the very end, at the very last minute before bed, I do make her 2 ounces of formula, which she totally doesn't really have. She might have about an ounce at the very end, but it's pretty much to top her off, to make sure in my heart that it's 100% that she's there. So I'm having to supplement a little bit. So I'm hoping that after the procedure today, we'll be able to have her tongue working how it should, have her mouth back to normal. But let me tell you that the stretches are going to be the hardest part. The procedure itself lasts like 5 minutes, and now it's done by laser, and it's going to help her in the long run. My husband, growing up, he had a tongue tie, and we discovered that later on, right? We didn't know he had the worst possible teeth that you can have growing up. He had issues with his confidence because when he speaks, I mean, he's over it now, right? But growing up, it was harder for him to speak. It's hard for him to move his tongue a lot. And he explains it as if, like when he started seeing Raquel's practice, he would do the exercise as well. And he said his tongue was sore because it wasn't meant to be like that. So it just affects you. It really does. And I'm hoping that a video like this raises awareness. And if you're pregnant and you're about to have a baby, just when you have that baby, have somebody look in their mouth and make it a big deal. if you want to nurse and you're having issues, please have that checked, because I promise there is not any, I can't say any, there's very little doctors, very little lactation consultants that will even bring that up to you. So you as a mom have to bring it up, and you have to demand that they give you an answer and that they do what's best for your baby. So again, this video is just to raise awareness, and I don't want any moms to feel any way, because it's something that unfortunately a lot of babies are born with and it's not caught. So anyways, I will keep you guys posted on how Esmeralda does, and we're on our way now, and thank you guys for watching, and I really will keep you updated and let you know how everything goes.
Oh. Yeah. Already relaxing.
She's relaxed.
So she doesn't, so she'll eat a little bit when I put her on my breast, and then she gets tired, and then she just
pretty quickly. Okay.
Yeah. So what I've been doing is I'm just pumping right before she wakes up and giving her the bottle.
Okay.
And we do the pace feeding.
Okay.
Just to see, and then I'll still put her on my during the day, because during the day she's more alert, and then at night she's like dead.
Okay.
So she'll nurse for a couple seconds and then pass out.
So if she passes out, can you get her to feed on the bottle, or she would just won't?
Oh no, she'll feed on the bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll feed her on the bottle. I feel like it's less work.
Yep.
Even pace feeding, like the lactation told me to pace feed, but kind of like don't make her work for every meal.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of like letting her, just it.
I know.
You're gonna tell me all about it, baby girl.
And the great one.
Yeah.
Oh my baby.
Yeah, she did great. She did. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Sorry, baby girl.
I can nurse now?
Yes.
I'm Allura. I'm the IBCLC and staff. I'm the one that works with Felicia.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I will help everything. She did fantastic.
Oh my baby. You can see already. You can see her little mouth.
Look at the tongue.
Oh, her tongue.
Oh, yes.
I just let her suck on my finger. While you get ready, just so she learns.
Oh, she can't even put it up.
I got her now.
You got her? Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Are you ready to have milk? Let's say this is the floor of the mouth and this is your tongue. If you touch on the tip of the tongue and you flip, you're stretching all the way back. You feel like you're stretching all the way back. But the diamond is down here. All you're doing is pushing that diamond into each other. So on Friday, my job, I come onto the tip of the diamond and I stretch it all the way open. Okay.
So literally push, kind of like just pull it back.
You're pulling it. Yep. You're kind of
That's all you
pulling
gotta do
up
is
and
pull
then
it.
down. Kind of like you're almost like it feels like going to the tonsils.
Okay.
So you're kind of like a lift and a push straight back. And I'll have you look at that.
Okay.
You just want to make sure that you're not on the tip of the tongue, because that does flip back really easily.
Right.
So we're just gonna move our fingers down.
Right?
Yep. Swing it all the way back. But for some reason, if it does look something like this on Friday, my job is to bring it from here back up to here. Maybe a little bit of bleeding. There's a salivary gland that hangs out underneath this diamond. It's like cutting yourself in the shower shaving, right? It looks like you're pouring out all your blood, and it's just a couple of drops. The same thing happens. I put some gauze on there. I put it right onto the breast. It stops bleeding, and I just have you move your fingers down to the tip of the diamond and push a little firmer, okay? So that's what I'm gonna have you do. After that, we'll calm her down because she's so little, and then we put on vegetable glycerin. So vegetable glycerin is like Goo Gone for the scabs. Scabs are super sticky. They feel like, they bit your cheek or have a finger sore and they're sticky. Underneath the tongue, it's just kind of the same thing, and underneath the lips. So what we do is we add vegetable glycerin to it. It's 1 drop on your finger, soaking on the top 3 wounds. 1 more drop on your finger, soaking under the tongue. I don't want you to use a dropper in her mouth unless you're gonna wash it in between every use, because I don't want there to be bacteria to go back in there.
Oh, okay.
The reason we use that is just to keep it from reattaching in between the stretches. Okay, so it's kind of like our magic juice. They also really like it, but if you're too anxious while you're stretching, it's okay to do a stretch and then calm her down and then put it in there. You don't have to put her back in that position. You can just swipe it in there in this position. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get her set up for a stretch. Come here, love it. I know. You got mom. I know. Gosh, you're so precious.
Should we switch spots?
No, you're
So
fine. I can see.
You can see?
I'm gonna bring you all the way up in here.
Okay, so this is the worst part of it all.
Yep. This is every 4 hours around the
baby.
clock.
Every 4 hours,
Yep.
all, even during the night.
Even during the night.
Okay, so when we
Okay.
feed, we can do it 3, like 3 hours or whatever. Okay, just
Yeah, just to make sure that you get more sleep. All right, so the cheeks, you're gonna bring your fingers in and bring them up like this. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your fingers together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all the lip and the cheeks. Okay.
Sorry, baby girl.
Then
I'm so
the
sorry.
tongue. Let's see if I can get in there. There is a diamond
Which is a diamond?
in there. Yep.
Oh, like that. Okay. I
That
see
right
it.
there.
Okay.
So fingers on the tip. Stretch it all the way back. You see how it gets nice and long?
Yeah.
And then let go. That's it. And we're
it?
all done.
You just add this.
Yep. And we had that when you guys get home.
Okay.
All right. That's it. Shh.
Just pretty much on my finger, I can do a drop and just push it over here.
Yep. Exactly.
Top,
and then when
the
we're
top.
dropping, we're
Okay.
just gonna swing in there.
Got it.
And on the bottom, you put the drop on, and then you just rub it,
Yep,
like
you
like
just
this.
rub it on there.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
And that's
cool.
it. All right, Dad, I'm gonna have you do it. Here's some gloves. You don't have to use those at home. I recommend them at night because I'm lazy. But if you can't find gloves, finger cots are fine too. I love it. Oh my goodness, hello. Oh, you're very cute. Hello. Okay.
Okay, so. Hey, Mamash. Hi, Mamash.
So fingers. If you need a leverage, put your thumbs on her forehead. Pull all the way up. Yes. Yep. Beautiful. 2, 3,
3,
4, 5. Bring your fingers together. Beautiful. Do that little lip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And now underneath the tongue. You see that? Grab it. Now go all the way back. Dad, push a little bit more. There you go. See how it gets long?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let go. Beautiful.
Okay.
And then
Torture my baby. Oh, I'm so sorry, my love.
I'm sorry.
take your gloves off, Dad.
You can beat me up later.
Oh, yes. Hi, Mama.
And we should do like the massages.
And you can do the massages in between. So I don't normally do them like all at the same time.
Oh, okay. So not at the same
Her
time.
neck stretching now.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna do the guppy and I'm gonna do all these.
I'm
She's
so
like this.
sorry, my love.
This is just a quick update. It's been 48 hours that Esmeralda had her procedure of her tongue tie and all of that fixed, her revision. The first 24 hours were awful. I'm talking about just didn't want to eat, so I got a little worried. I had to keep pumping just to get her fed, and so now she's here kind of hanging out. Esme, say hi, Esme. Say hi. Hi. The stretches have been really bad. My husband's been the one taking care of them. So it just really hurts me. So I just hold her little legs, and Chris has to come in through the top and literally pull her tongue in through the backwards. So the stretches have not been fun. She was in pain, so I gave her some some infant like Tylenol just to try to help her out. But I did notice today, since I said it's been 48 hours, her latch is so much better, guys. I mean, so much better. I think that we're going to make it through this breastfeeding ordeal just fine. So the healing process will take a little longer, but again, I just wanted to raise awareness on this and let you guys know how important it is to have them checked, because I didn't want any issues or anything to happen in the future like it did to Raquel. So guys, again, just ask and be stubborn, and if you really want to nurse, you have to fight through it and ask the right questions, because again, it's so common for these kids to have it and be born with it, and us not even knowing that these tongue ties are there, or the tongue ties get fixed at the hospital, but they don't advise or talk about the stretching and the recovery period. So please, it's really important that you guys just, you know, get it checked and be stubborn and be an advocate for your child and make sure that if that's what's needed. And it's obviously every case is different, right? There's some more severe than others, and as I've been investigating a little bit more, some doctors say that they'll just grow out of it. It's a phase, but it's something I don't believe unless maybe it's a minor issue. But check with your doctor, find a lactation consultant, and just again, be an advocate for whatever you choose to do. And again, it's just not nursing, it's eating in general. And again, from my experience with Raquel, it affected her speech, it affected the way she ate, it affected her teeth, her dental work. So there's a lot of things that are factors into this. And if you do choose to nurse and you're not able to, your body's not producing milk, have that checked for sure. So thanks for watching, and feel free to, you know, send me a message or feel free to private message me if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help and raise awareness to this problem. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for all of our family events and keeping up with all of our daily activities. So thanks.